Walmart Super here. Today we're going to do a really quick 10-minute video. And I'm going to be talking to you guys how to become an auto tech in 2023, but no, 2024. So make this super quick. I'm going to give you a couple tips. Step one, you're starting from absolutely zero. You have absolutely nothing. What you want to do is get some type of experience from a friend, or from your father, or from a relative that knows how to work on cars. Sit down. If they're doing a brake job, just make them aware, hey, listen, I want to learn how to work on cars. Can you show me how to work on cars? And that can be anybody. That can even be a friend. If you don't have anybody you can learn from, I'm assuming you probably have a car. Jack up that thing. Learn how to do your oil change. First things first, when you work as an auto tech, is oil changes. You're always going to be doing them all the time. And you're always going to be rotating. You're always going to be doing tires. So learn how to do an oil change on your first car. If you don't have a car, do an oil change on your car. If you know somebody that has a car, do an oil change on their car. Say that you're learning how to be a mechanic and you'll do it for free. Do it for a relative free, just have them get the stuff and that you're able to watch them and, watch a couple YouTube videos and do that. Second step, once you get the experience of working on your own car, doing your own oil changes, and you feel comfortable working on your own car, maybe start by replacing your battery on your car. As tech gets more sophisticated, as years arrive, you need computers to reset the BMS system on your car, for an example. But most cars, like my Civic right here, 2008, you can replace the battery and be completely fine. Learn how to replace your battery, second step. Do your basics, do wiper blades, do stuff like that. So like batteries, oil changes, wiper blades, easy stuff, even cabin air filters. You can probably find a video. Visual inspections, pop open the hood, there's the oil cap, there's the coolant, we have coolant, and stuff like that. That's step number two. From moving up from oil changes, do your basic need stuff, so like battery, wiper blades. And step number three is once you start getting comfortable with doing wiper blades, batteries, oil changes on your own car, go get a job at Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone. Great opportunities. You work on many different cars, you start learning the car parts, and that's where you really, really, truly get comfortable on working on cars. I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing this on my break. So I have like 5 minutes. So let's make this like a 7-minute video. So that's what you want to do, is get comfortable with all this stuff, get a job at Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone, stay there for a couple years or even like 2 years. You don't have to stay there for too long. Just as long as you're comfortable with changing batteries, doing wiper blades, doing oil changes, you can easily get away with it. Next thing on the list is after you start feeling comfortable doing all this stuff, working at Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone for a couple of years, see if a mom and pop shop, I'm not talking about like a Ford or a Honda or a Toyota. No, you need to look for a mom's and pop shop. For an example, Johnny's Auto Center, or even like a Jiffy Lube, for an example, a Valvoline. That's perfect, but not dealership stuff. What you want to do next is find a job at a Jiffy Lube or find a job at a Valvoline. You're gonna be being paid minimum wage, but now you're getting used to the experience of oil changes. You're getting used to the experience of changing air filters, cabin filters, checking, doing a multi-point inspection, and then learning how to pick up your speed. Because obviously these Jiffy Lubes in Valvoline spots, you want to pick up your speed as you go. Check tire pressures. I think they do this. And you're doing this very, very quickly because they're quick oil change spots. They'll hire basically anybody, just as long as you have experience. Now, tip number one, as you start working at Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone, start taking the fact that you're working there and use the tools to your advantage. You're getting discounts from the business. Advanced Auto Parts, as employees, you get 30% to 20% off. AutoZone, I think you get 10 to 15. Use this opportunity to collect your tools. And I'm going to give you the tool list right now. Impact tools, your 3/8 ratchet, your 3/8 impact, your 1/2 inch ratchet, and your 1/2 inch impact, preferably both in battery and air operated. And usually stuff at Advanced Auto Parts and AutoZone, they go on clearance and they wipe them out. So when you get those opportunities where they go on clearance, ask your manager if you can buy the item that's on clearance for a cheaper price, your discount, blah, blah, blah. There you go, cheap tools. So you need 3/8, 1/2 inch ratchet and impact, 3/8 and 1/2 inch sockets, impact sockets, chrome sockets, and shallow and short sockets. Now you need wrenches. I prefer the long wrenches. I don't like the normal size ones because when you're trying to really get to some stuff, the short ones are not going to cut it. So make sure you get like an extension wrench, a ratcheting set. And then you want to get a 1/2 inch impact socket set for taking off lug nuts. Oil filter wrench. I'm trying to think what really more that I do. A battery tester. You can get these at Amazon for $20. OBD2 scanners, $20 on Amazon, $30 on Amazon. You don't have to get the big fancy tools. What you can also get is, I like using wet wipes when I'm working on cars. You can get them at Advanced Auto Parts or AutoZone because sometimes you're in a rush. You need to wash your hands. You're not going to have time to go into the sink, wash your hands, go ahead and back out. No, not with the Jiffy Lube spot. So make sure you're getting your tools organized as you're working at Advanced Auto Parts for the next year or two. Then hop into the Jiffy Lube. You already have a whole tool set. You already have a whole toolbox, and you're ready to go. You don't have to borrow tools from anybody. Tip number 2, when you're working in this field, borrowing tools is a big no-no. Especially from my experiences. Every once in a while, I do the 3-strike rule. If I use it once, it's fine. If I use it twice, I might need it. If I use it 3 times, I'll get it. And that's what everybody should be using in the automotive technician position. I've been doing this maybe for like 7 years, and in the backyard and professionally, and borrowing tools is the worst, especially if you're tied up in a situation outside of your house doing a transmission job. And you need a tool at 10 o'clock at night while you're taking out the transmission and you're already pissed off, it sucks. So you're better off looking up a video on YouTube of what tools you're going to need, what extensions you're going to need, and just buy them. Don't borrow tools when you're in this business, especially at Jiffy Lube or any spots like this. It's expected that you have your tools and that you arrive on time. Number 3, arrive on time. That's a tip. Arrive on time. People do not like you being late when you're in this business. I run late sometimes. It's fine, just as long as it's not a bother to people, because if it's a bother to people, then there's going to be a problem. You're at risk of getting fired. And especially when you have your first automotive job, you do not want to ruin that. And if you are going to run late, let them know ahead of time. Last but not least, as soon as you're at the Jiffy Lube job for the next couple years and you get your experience up and you move up in positions at Jiffy Lube, now you can move to the dealership jobs. You want to start at, personally, my best advice to you is start at a Ford location, because Ford will actually train you through, I didn't know this, they'll train you on what engine sensors are, brake jobs, what oils go a certain type of mileage. You learn a lot, and you sit down on the computer for the first week learning this stuff, and it's super helpful. Me, I didn't graduate, but I still work at a Ford location, and it's been fantastic for me. Super, super great. I love it. So don't look for your Toyotas, your Hondas, because sadly it's going to be, they're going to require you to have your ASC certification. But eventually, my goal personally is when I have done my job at Ford for the past 3 years or 5 years, I have enough experience for them to be like, okay, you've had the experience. We haven't heard any bad from you from your manager, and you've been doing awesome, so we'll just take you in. And that's my best advice to you, is squeeze into a Ford location, a Chevy location, a Dodge location, because these spots are struggling. American cars are really, really struggling when it comes to finding technicians, especially Ford, because of recalls and stuff like that. People don't want to do recalls anymore. They don't pay enough. But when you're in a dealership, you're going to be getting more experience, and that's what you need to move on to the next steps. If you guys like this video, comment below. I hope everyone has a good journey through the automotive stuff. And I just wanted to upload this because I feel like this information might help somebody one day. Love you guys. Peace out.